Are we going to test sponsorship with leather upholstery? Any ideas?
The Corsa from Vauxhall. The small car with the big personality. Take a closer look at the American Express card. Because now, when you use the card, you can earn points by enrolling in the membership rewards program. Points which can turn into flights, hotel nights, dining, and fun. Maybe it's time you took a closer look at the American Express card. To apply for the card or to enroll in membership rewards, call us now on 0800 700 222. Who the hell is this guy?
Steven Seagal. On deadly ground. Buy it on video now.
Special K low-calorie breakfast. Get the taste, get the shape.
Oi, Harry. Do you know where gammon comes from?
Can't you ask, Mum? I'm busy.
Just 95p a pound at Safeway.
When you hear the sound of a child in need, you want to do something about it.
Throughout the developing world, many children are in desperate need, and you can do something about it. Through child sponsorship, you can help provide the basic necessities of life that so many third world children lack, like clean water,
And nourishing food.
proper health care.
Clean, safe homes.
Child sponsorship through Plan International can provide all these things for families and communities in the third world. Sponsoring a child is one of the best things I've ever done.
Sponsorship helps the whole community.
It helps families to help themselves.
If you're thinking of sponsoring a child, call Plan free on this number now for details of how you can sponsor a child and help their whole community. So please call 0800 100 175 now. Your call is completely free and it'll make all the difference to a child in need.
That's the worst thing with this game, with the reputation, is the knocking and the paying, isn't it? I mean, sometimes you've got friends, you've been promised so much and all that, and when it actually comes to parting with the money, oh no, I didn't say that, or I said you get X amount of square, and then you've got a right to red in the face to try and get an extra tenner out of them, or when you do work hard, you want money, don't you? And sometimes that's why you get nicked as well. Sometimes if they knock you, but when they're nicking the material.
The festive tube is always on everybody's minds, and 95% of companies colour code their equipment. They brand their boards by, embossing their names on the side of it, burning them into the boards. The fittings are produced when you buy them new with your name on them, and all the tubes are ramped up, put through a machine that prints your name on them. These can all be got around, you know what I mean? You could, where the board's been branded, you cut the board, the ends off so it ain't got a brand on it. You can grind the tube out, you can change the colour of the paint over it. But if you ever get caught, you better put your boxing gloves on. Because whichever gear it is, not going to take too kindly to you in his gear.
There are scaffolders that will go around cleaning. Some are bank that will go around in banks, so people that fill scaffolding. And if they'll take the scaffold down behind the scaffolders that have just put it up and hope that no one in the building says what's going on, it looks like it's been stolen. Yes, there are thieves that go around cementing scaffolds.
When you get people like that, there's some people who just go around and that is their living.
Just knock down things.
Yeah, and go around doing knockdown. I suppose it's a laugh, it's a buzz, like when you're doing it. There's always that feeling in your head that you don't talk. Some blokes don't even get that feeling, do they?
With a gear stashed at 20 foot high in what you would regard a safe area, and gone to work with it the next day or the day after that, and it's not there. It's been nicked. Or if you were silly enough to leave a stack of material in the road overnight, if a policeman doesn't get you out of it and report you, then just behind him might be a scaffold with an empty lorry.
that sees that gear as valuable, either to put a job up for himself or just to sell it to someone else.
One of the actual mates went by. There was waiting for another crowd. And as he went by, he tilted, waved, all right, how are you? And I said to my other mate who was with us, I said, them fittings won't be in the morning. And when we got them in the morning, them fittings weren't there. You know, you ain't actually going to say, oh well, we had them. You know what I mean?
Years ago I heard a story about there was a big slaughterhouse found in King's Cross, and once they infiltrated, the thieves found this big slaughterhouse where there was obviously people going, nicking scaffold material either from the wall or from people's yards or whatever, taking it to King's Cross. Someone was paying them for it, and then someone was pushing it onto buyers, and apparently there was gear of everybody's in this big slaughterhouse. If you don't tie it down, some fucker will nick it.
Hold on, get these on tape. Oh, good days, bad days. Only days, you know, these days, them days, those days, drink. What else is that? I might slip your favourite bit of food in there. Or the occasional bung up or something, you know what I mean? Fucking drink, look at that. What would you do then?
Anyway, that little red little bad's fun. So take the iPhone up, just drop it down to the garden. I'm bombing with you down the garden, woman's coming up and stop, what are you doing? So I go, sorry, I'm just dropping, it's like almost from dirt. I mean, what's the matter? She went, you don't realise what you're doing. So what's the matter? She went, well, I've got my husband's ashes and I buried them in the pub garden. all the tubes, so dirt at the end of the tube. And she goes, you've just, like, my husband could be behaving them.
I try and let my hair down a bit, and there's no joke there. Try and let my hair down a bit when we do step outside of work, because then it's your mates. As I said, you work together so, you know, for such a period of time, you get a closer relationship with your work folks and you do your missus. Well, it's not as close, but you understand what I'm saying. And I don't like to draw the line when I'm out socialising. Do you know what I mean? If I'm out having a drink with the scaffolders and then I'm just one of the scaffolders, I'm one of the boys, it's difficult when you step into the office. So like, when you finish work of an evening, 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, you then leave the firm behind. You're then like a bloke, and if somebody wants to have a fucking row about it or do anything like that, then you take it outside of work. If they want to do it inside work, you just sack them, don't you?
When we first meet at early evening or whatever, straight after work, it starts off calm and that, but by about 8 o'clock the more you've got in there and things start livening up.
I've been with a couple of scaffolders on a Christmas drink, and you know, we all got an idea. We did, and it was a bad idea. Yeah, we was in a pub, all these blokes in there, and they was, well, massive, they were. And next minute, it just went off between 1 or 2 blokes, and before you knew it, it was like the whole pub. It was out with us. It was out, yeah, out with us.
Every one of us got a good kicking.
Yeah.
We found out it was a local pub of boxing club. It was their local. Everyone in there was like ABA. We didn't know that at the time.
Well, we probably got next to each other. We might have had a bit of a chance, I suppose. But they knew how to hit these guys. They did. Cool. They did know how to hit.
We might know 20 other scaffolders and you might ring each other or see each other in the caf or whatever. Oh, where are you going to a drink tonight, or where are you meeting later? And then you could walk in there, there'd be 25 people in there, so straight away and if they've been in there earlier than you, straight away, then that's when the winding up the piss Satan starts. Wherever you go, there's always groups of birds or couples, isn't there, you know, and if there's 12 scaffolds, you know, that bird's looking at me, irrespective of who she's with or whatever, you know, get over there, and then her boyfriend will get the amp, and his mates will get the amp, then your mates will get the amp, so basically the birds have a lot to do with it, really. But it's the same everywhere, isn't it?
We're always double-barreled up, it's like birds, big 2 hands in
Run over here, fucking head in the out, one to the business, so you beer. Got yourself straight up. Half 100, I ain't got 2 points.
Gaffers in the pub, a group like 10, 8, 6, 8, 10, 12, as many as you like, they all feel invincible because they'll stick together.
We've been in there, having a couple of pints, watching the strippers, having a laugh, having a joke. Well, I've been in there for a few hours, then about 20 soups just come and stood right in front of us and started giving, didn't they? So I just give this fellow a quick elbow round the back of the head. Now bearing in mind, there's only 3 of us and 20 of them, he didn't come back no more, did he? And they were standing in the corner of the pub like that, and there's 3 of us in a much bigger space, and we were just like sitting at the bar. That was quite good, wasn't it? And he even offered me a drink. What do you like to drink, mate? Do you want to calm down? Back off.
Bacon, beans on toast.
Watch Garrett's chicken. They tie a little bit of line on the top. The chicken goes on the roof and he pulls it up. Scaffolders are mainly motivated by money. Just because it now becomes winter period doesn't mean they can stop working. You know, they've still got mortgages, wives, kids, holidays, cars, everything else to pay for. It just gets harder. You know, it gets cold, and it is hard getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning when there's 2 foot of snow on the floor and it's pissing down the rain, and you don't want to go out and get soaked and you've got an hangover or you're tired, you've got a bit of flu, but you've still got to go out because simple rule is you don't work, you don't get paid. There's 3 different sizes of firms that you get around. You get your granddad and his grandson, the little transit. Then you get the little firm that's got like 1 lorry, progresses to 2 lorry. Then you go up to the 5, 6, 7, 8 lorries and a couple of big lorries. And then you go on to the big firms that have got trailers, big lorries everywhere. You know, I want to get to that stage where I'm 5, 6, 7, 8 lorries, half a dozen, well no, not half a dozen, 3 or 4 17-tonners and maybe a couple of trailers. That's the size I'd like to get, and I'll reach that by next year, end of next year. We will be there. Mark my words.
At 9 o'clock next Sunday, Outlaws observes Los Angeles women gang members, the Girls in the Hood.